everybody. What's going on? Nice to see all of you. I appreciate you guys being here. We've got a great stream planned for all of you guys. Today, we will be doing a full card breakdown and parlay for UFC 326. Now, I'm sure a number of you guys are kind of wondering, you know, where I've been the last few days. Let me tell you where I've been. First and foremost, my internet went out. My internet has been completely out the last 4 days, which was tough. I could not make any content the last 4 days. I had to. The only thing I can do is make a members only video, which I made the other day. And also, I fucking threw my neck out so bad yesterday, guys. I swear to God, I'm moving like fucking Christian Bale's Batman from fucking Batman Begins. Like, I can't move my neck. Like, I'm in fucking agony. You know, so I've had a lot going on. Obviously, I wanted to do a you know, like we normally do. I wanted to do a ranking every single possibility for UFC 326. Couldn't do that. Didn't have internet. Couldn't stream. I wanted to do this. I wanted to do that stream on Thursday and this stream yesterday. Couldn't do it. I got my internet fixed yesterday. But it's okay. We're back. I've got a lot to say about this card, man. And I'll tell you what, man. Looking at this card, one thing I will say is that I think the odds makers have gotten this card so fucking backwards. I've got a lot to say about all of these matchups, but truly, like, I swear to God, these guys have no fucking idea what they're doing. So again, I think there's a lot of money to be made on this card. And as you guys know, we hit it big the last card. I turned $300 into $1,700 with some monster bets. So you know, I think we can remake that happen. So yeah. But anyway, what have you guys been up to? Why am I off screen? I'm not off screen. I'm literally right here, right in front of the screen. Oh, wait a second. I think I know what the problem is. Oh, there we go. Sorry. I didn't mean to. I didn't realize I had this up. My bad. Let me hold on. Where do I put this? There we go. Sorry, I didn't realize I had that up. My bad. We're back though. But anyway, let's see, what do we got here? Guys, I'll be honest, I'm a little nervous. I'm a little tiny bit nervous about Holloway, Oliveira too. Guys, be honest with me and don't try to make me feel better. Do you guys really think Charles can win? Do you guys really think he can? Good bit. You think he can win a good bit? All right, cool. Yeah. All right, maybe he could. Yeah, that's kind of. I mean, that is where I'm at as well. Is that, you know, it's funny. I whenever I talk about Charles Oliveira these days, like, it doesn't matter what I say. it seems like everybody is just convinced that, like, I've sworn on my heart and soul that he's gonna win the fight. They said the same thing about fucking him versus Ilya. I don't, like, oh God, what was it? Someone in the Discord the other day was like, oh, Shay, this guy is also picking Charles Oliveira to win. And I was like, I'll be honest with you, man, where the fuck did you get that listen, I think pretty much anybody could, I don't know, it's hard. It's hard. I think Oliveira definitely can. I mean, don't get me wrong. But, like, it's kind of hard to not be scared about him not, taking the correct precautions that he's going to need here. You know what I mean? That's obviously going to be the biggest problem. Is that, again, I don't think he needs to fight in sort of as strict of a game plan as we needed him to against Ilya, but still, there are things he absolutely needs to avoid, and there are things that it's life or death that he tries to accomplish in this fight in terms of pressure, in terms of taking away Max's distance management, and again, I don't know if he can do that. You know what I mean? I don't know if he can. I don't know if he can, but I feel like I've given some people the false idea somehow that I'm like swearing on my heart and soul that he's gonna win this fight. I'm here to tell you, I know I'm scared. That's not how I feel. I feel terrified. I feel absolutely terrified. I don't know if he's gonna do what he needs to do to win this fight. All right, so I just want to be upfront with you guys on this. But I will say, on a slight side tangent, this card is really bad. It's a really bad card. And I know it was meant to be better because the co-main event was supposed to be Renato Moicano. But let's just be honest here, guys. Even if Renato Moicano and fucking bitchy McBitchface, what's his name? What's his name? Brian Ortega. Even if they were on the co-main, it's still not a very good card, right? Like, this is not, it's not good. Like, I hate to say it. Again, I know a lot of us were really afraid that because the UFC doesn't have to sell pay-per-views anymore, they're not going to give a fuck like they used to. And you know what? I was like, no, Dana White would never do that to us. Dana White would never do that. Dana is he's a good Christian man who's going to always be working as hard as he can to give us the best that he can. I think it's fair to say that's not the case anymore. I think that's fair to say. It's just not great. I mean, listen, it's not bad, but I just feel like if they were still selling pay-per-views, there's not a chance in fuck all hell that they would be trying to charge $80 for this. You know what I mean? No, I also doubt Dana's religious. I don't know why him being a Christian man had anything to do with his ability to care about the UFC. It just came out like that. Yeah, Charles versus Max is a pay-per-view level fight, and I can tell you just from experience, like, or just like even like just like for me, like the way I can gauge popularity is just kind of like just looking at the views that these matchups are getting. And not even just from me, but just from just from on YouTube in general. And it's not phenomenal. It's not phenomenal. I feel like people aren't, but that's normally the case when the main event of a numbered UFC event isn't the best guys in the world, or at least not the champion. You know what I mean? Neither of these guys are the champion. Both of these guys have lost to the current champion, so I don't know. It's just not I feel like the hype's not quite there the same way. But in fairness, though, I guess it was kind of the same when it went with like Dustin Poirier and Justin Gaethje when they fought for the main event for a BMF title. Still, though, I think that card was overall better. They had Alex Pereira as the goddamn co-main. So I don't know. I just don't think it's great. I don't think it's great. Let me see. I think I got a dono a second ago. Beautiful bet. I haven't seen you here in a while. Thank you for the $10. Heart says Charles, Brain says Max. I remember that's how I felt about Charles versus Islam back in the day. That was before I was making YouTube videos. That was even before I was really a Charles Oliveira fan. I mean, listen, I liked Charles a lot, but I wasn't even a big fan of him, and that was my exact sentiment going into that fight versus Islam. Listen, again, Hey, you two knock it off. My cats are currently fucking wrestling right now. Hey, you two knock it off. Hey, you two be nice. Jesus. I'll tell you what, guys. Becoming a parent changes you. Typically, my cats love each other. They're very bonded. But sometimes when they wrestle and play, it gets a little ugly sometimes. Yeah, I mean, listen. So I'll repeat. Charles Oliveira. I swear to God, this is a very winnable fight for him. But again, he has some huge weaknesses against Max Holloway. Out in the open, Max Holloway's striking is just on another planet compared to Charles. The way he can mix it up, the way he can mix the punches and the kicks, the body shots and the head shots, the speed, the footwork, the way he can move in and out, the amount of power he now has up at 55. Like if Charles just throws with him out in space, like I think it will be fucking catastrophic. But I really do think that dude, the fact that fucking, the only 2 submission attempts we've seen against Max Holloway was fucking Dustin Poirier jumping guillotine on him or something. Like, I saw a statistic about that. And it's like, it just goes to show how Max has really never had to fight somebody who's a really high level, grappler, submission artist, who is also extremely girthy, who's also, you know what I mean? Like I guess Brian Ortega's the closest we have to that, and Brian Ortega fucking never even shot a takedown against Max practically. You know what I mean? So, like, if Charles can just fucking tight high guard, try to walk him down, get his back up to the fence, all of a sudden Max's in and out movement isn't the same. We're looking for takedowns, body locks, you know what I mean? Like, I swear to God, it's a winnable fight. I just don't know if he's gonna fucking have the right game plan. Because Charles is saying that if Max points down, he's gonna start swinging. And again, that I think would be the end of all of us. I think that would be straight up Armageddon. I really do. Well, even the $2, Dana not involved anymore. It's all Hunter now. Yeah, I know. Well, listen, I don't think. Well, I don't know, Juan. Maybe you could enlighten me on this. I understand that Hunter has kind of taken the reins of being the negotiator behind the scenes and all that, but like Dana's still involved, right? Like Dana's still there, right? Like Dana's still in a advisory position, I would imagine, right? Or is that not true? Is Dana White not a part of these meetings about the White House card and setting up fights? Is he not like? You know what I mean? I understand he has a reduced role. He's had that since, I believe, 2018, 2019, something like that. But, I still thought he was somewhat involved. Maybe you could tell me otherwise. Santiago Jimenez Silva, thank you for the €5. Oliveira needs the clinch like he did with Ilya. He is much stronger than Max. Love from Madrid, Spain. Yeah, I mean, just look at how he fucking big-dicked Gamrot. You know what I mean? Look at how he big-dicked him. Now, obviously, though, a big part of that did come from the fact that he just kind of broke Gamrot on the feet because Gamrot could not hurt him, and Charles was just walking him down the whole time, putting him on the back foot. And then that also, you know what I mean? So Gamrot was broken mentally. But even then, to fucking just get to the body lock, to fucking pick his ass up, just to fucking toy with him on the ground. Like, obviously, you would imagine the level is going to be pretty different between a Max and a Charles, just grappling for grappling skills. But again, with that being said, you can kind of go back and forth on the fact that we've never really seen Max have to grapple heavy before. We know he has really good get-ups off the bottom. That's kind of it. I know his takedown defense is generally very good when he sees your takedowns coming. So I don't know. It's a little hard. It's a little difficult to be certain about Max's grappling skills. Other than that, you would assume Charles is gonna be the bigger, stronger guy. Again, to me, we cannot let Max Holloway do his standard, pressure out in space, move forward with like long combinations, slide away. Move forward with long combinations, slide away. He's too fast for us. Like, Charles is not going to be able to touch him if Max just keeps sliding in and out of range like he loves to do. So we need to take that away from him, and we just need to let our dick hang. You know what I mean? That's, to me, the best way that I can put it. Colt Killer. Thank you for the $2.99. Who wins, UFC 300 Max or the Conor that fought Eddie Alvarez? I have always famously gone on record to say that I think Conor McGregor beats every single featherweight champion that's ever existed, apart from Max Holloway. I'll be honest. Yeah, I think so. I would really favor Conor against Volkanovski. I'd favor him against Ilya. I'd favor him against, obviously, Jose Aldo. I do think Max Holloway's probably the toughest fight for him. Now, I've never, like, really sat down and done, like, a hard film study back and forth, but I know both of them very well. And I just feel like in general, here's the thing, right? I think overall Ilya is going to throw with more power than Conor, just because, Ilya Topuria is all about pressure and he's all hooks and overhands. Conor is more maintain space, maintain range, more straight shots. So I feel like just in general, I wouldn't favor Conor's ability. I think Max is going to be hittable, especially early in that fight, for sure. And I even think you go back to the very first fight, listen, Max was young, Conor was also very young. Max was 20, Conor was like 24, and Conor was even kind of able to sort of match Max's height and reach, because Max was a little taller, but Conor had a way longer reach. But it was a lot of straight shots he was landing. He's not like, Conor's not getting inside and fucking ripping uppercuts and hooks, you know what I mean? I don't think Conor would hurt him really badly, and then I just feel like Max... I think his kind of snowball effect style mixed in with him having a good amount of pop up at 155 now, I think that'd be a real problem for Conor. I think like Conor's at his absolute best when he's fighting a bit of I think if Conor has a height and reach advantage on you, it's gonna be so fucking hard to beat him with just the way he's sliding in out of range, catching you with right hands. But like even Max, when they did fight, landed on Conor, a few good times, and that was like real tadpole Max, no girth, no strength, no power. In general, I think Max is a tough matchup for Conor. That's what I'd say. Sora, thank you for the 2 months of being a member. Ola Shay, thoughts on Luke Thomas saying if Max wins, if Max wins, he isn't a top 15 all-time fighter yet, and still under guys like Couture, Fedor, BJ Penn, and Edgar. So I don't want to be mean, but who the fuck is Luke Thomas? And obviously I know who Luke Thomas is, but like I'm asking you, like, what is he? I'm genuinely asking, like, what is he? Who is he? Why should anyone care about his opinion? You know what I mean? I don't know. You guys tell me. I swear to God, I've never absorbed anything Luke Thomas has ever done. For some weird reason, his politics channel keeps popping up for me on YouTube Shorts for some reason. Other than that, I don't know anything about him. So like, what? My thoughts on that statement, I think that's kind of fucking stupid. That's what I think. But again, I just don't know what is the relevance of Luke Thomas. Like, someone tell me. Like, what does he do? Did he? Does anyone have an answer? What is he? What is he? Is he like Ariel Helwani? Did he fucking? Does he have any experience with any martial arts or like what? He has aura? Okay. Cool. That kind of answers my... Okay, fair enough. Cool. He's like an MMA analyst. He's never trained combat sports to begin with. He's just an MMA uncle who has a big platform. So he's like Ariel Helwani, kind of. He's still under guys like Randy Couture, Fedor, BJ Penn, and Frankie Edgar. How the fuck could you have him underneath Frankie Edgar at this point, or even BJ Penn at this point? That's insane. It's stupid. That's just a very dumb statement. I can't say her name. Thank you for the $2. Armin against Max. How does this one play out? I've been asked this before, and I swear to God, I think I give a different answer every single time. Armin Max. For one, I'm excited to see that Armin is gonna wrestle Giorgio again at RAF 7. That'll be cool. I will be watching that with bated breath. Armin probably will just win again because he's the bigger, stronger guy who's also a very, very good wrestler. But in fairness, Giorgio and Armin did have a very close match, in fairness. They did have a close match. Armin against Max. Listen, I'll tell you what, man. I'll tell you what. Obviously, Charles Oliveira and Armin Sarukian are different kinds of grapplers for sure. They are not the same at all. Though I have a good feeling unless Max Holloway fucking clips Charles like a minute in, which fuck, dude. Pray for Armin tonight, by the way. My buddy, not Armin's rookie, my buddy Armin, because I'm probably gonna put someone. I don't know what the title of the stream will be tonight, but like I'll probably put someone to sleep if that happens to Charles. But like I'm just very excited to see Charles get in on takedowns and see what that looks like. I'm hoping for some grappling exchanges because again, apart from knowing that Max has very good get-ups, and Max, generally, his takedown defense is very good, generally, when he sees your takedowns coming against, again, not a lot of great examples. I don't know exactly what his grappling game is going to look like, you know. If he's off his back if he's on his back out in the open, I don't know. Most of his get-ups tend to happen up against the fence. So, I don't know. How does Armin set up his takedowns? I think Armin could struggle setting up shots against Max, generally. I think that the Dan Hooker fight, I do generally think that I thought Armin was setting up his strikes better. I thought he was mixing up the punches and the kicks better, which is something that I had always wanted seen from him. But obviously Dan Hooker was landing the jab a fair amount of times against Armin, which I'd hope he would. He's 6'1", fighting a 5'7" Armin. But Max Holloway is just so much faster, so much quicker. He's so much better than Dan Hooker, just skill for skill all around. I feel like we really don't have enough. You know what? Fuck it. Max Holloway beats Armin. Fuck it. I can kind of foresee Armin having a really difficult time setting up takedowns. I could see Armin having a tough time pressuring Max, maybe. But I don't really know. I would really like to see. I would like to learn more about Max's. Just his overall defensive grappling game, apart from get-ups against the fence, to give you a solid answer there. Because, I mean, Armin, obviously, like the ground and pound, even his own submission ability's gotten a lot better. So, if he did get Max Holloway down, like, flat, like, I think, the elbows are going to be disgusting. You know how hard it is to land clean on Charles Oliveira from guard. He's really difficult to get, like, successful ground and pound off. And round 2, Armin fucking landed a shit ton of elbows. You know what I mean? Max would get butchered from there. I just don't know if Armin can set up the shots that consistently, but I don't know. Beautiful bed. Think of it, another 10 HK. By the way, the longevity of both Max and Charles is insane. Yeah, but I'll tell you what, bro. Max Holloway kind of scares me listening to some of these interviews recently, man. Fuck. Like, dude, he's starting to sound real comatose. Like, it's not just me, right? And I feel bad because generally I like Max Holloway. I don't like him I won't like him tonight. Like, I won't lie. I would like everyone's like, oh, Max and Charles, like, oh, I'm so sad to see one of them lose. I would love to see Max Holloway get his like skull caved in, like Michael Venom Page did to that one guy with that flying knee. You know what I mean? Like if Max Holloway ends up like that one boxer who became brain dead because he got hit in the back of the head a bunch of times, I'm not gonna cry about it tonight. I will only be celebrating. Is that fucked up to say? Maybe. But I'm not going to lie to you guys. You know what I mean? But I do agree with you overall. Their longevity is good. Cuba Pro saying with 50 check. Charles would really have to shit the bed with his game plan to get pieced up by Max for 5 rounds. I have more faith in him than that. Yeah, I mean, it's just... Again, it's if Charles tries to strike back and forth with him at range. That's the problem. That will be the problem. Because I will tell you what if Charles is just at space with Max trying to land punches and kicks, Max, I swear to God, he's just going to slide away, like, move away, back to space, steps forward, double jab, right hand, head kick, back. And then Charles tries to answer with the right hand, and Max just keeps sliding away. Oh, that's what will happen. And then that is how Charles will get pieced up. Again, I don't know what Charles is going to try to do in this fight. I would hope that he's learned a little bit from the Ilya fight. But, I don't know. All I know it's a winnable fight. I just don't know if Charles will have a winnable game plan. You know what I mean? Shoka, thank you for the $5, buddy. I really appreciate it, Shoka. I love you. Shoka's turned into a real legend around here. I really do love you, Shoka. You're a great guy. You're a great guy. Let's see. Did I miss anything else, or is that it? Colt Killer Game, thank you for the $17. Who wins in an MMA bout between Presidents Trump or Putin? I mean, let's think about this critically. Donald Trump is overweight by a good margin. His entire diet consists of McDonald's and Diet Coke, right? We know that. I don't think his health is looking great these days. Putin is a black belt in judo. That's a fact. He's a black belt in judo. I don't think Donald Trump knows any sort of martial arts. I would argue that Putin would fucking run train on him. He would absolutely run train on him. That's what I would say. Putin has bad boxing defense, huh? RNNNN42. Well, what the fuck is Donald Trump going to do about that? Huh? What's he going to do about that? All right. Are you guys ready to get started on this full card breakdown? Are you guys ready to get started? I'm excited to show you guys this because I do really feel like I've got a lot to say, and there's a lot of money to be made here. There's a lot of money. Starting off, Luke Fernandez versus Rodolfo Bellato. I'm curious, what do you guys think about this matchup, first and foremost? What do you guys think? Wow, nothing from chat. That's crazy. You guys are all legit casuals. That is insane. Do you guys really not know who either of these two guys are? Are you serious? You guys don't know who these people are. You guys are fucking casuals. That is so embarrassing for all of you guys. That is so embarrassing. All right, well, I guess we'll just go ahead and skip it, I guess, if you guys don't know who these people are. All right, you guys will have to know who these two guys are, though. Guys, Rafael Tobias versus DR Nurgaze. What do you guys think about that? What do you guys think about these two guys? What do you guys think? I'm really excited for this Rafael Tobias breakdown. Well, dude, again, you guys have no... I'm shocked at how casual my audience is. I've been following Rafael Tobias, and I've been following Nurgaze. Ever since he started kind of rising the Kazakhstan ranks, pretty much. I've been a huge fan of both these guys for a really long time. But again, you guys don't know who these people are. I guess we'll just skip them again. And now, listen, based on how these last couple of people went, I'm just going to assume you guys don't know these people either. We're going to skip them as well. Okay. Cody Durgan versus Niham Yargul Tumen Der Begalor. Listen, I will be honest. I don't know. I've heard of Cody Durden. I don't know who this is. Ricky Tercios. I do know Ricky Tercios because I watched. You guys know there are some great videos on YouTube. It's basically just like it takes every single season of The Ultimate Fighter and it just goes the best moments. The best moments. And it's great because you can kind of like absorb an entire fucking season of The Ultimate Fighter within like an hour, and it's great. And I know Ricky Tercios was on Team Volk. Ricky Tercios fights with a really interesting style, but like he fights like his own very unique sort of style. And I think the problem with that is that like I feel like to really make a wild like non-fundamental style work, you need to have crazy attributes. Like, listen, Tony Ferguson back in his prime, right? The truth is, man, Tony Ferguson I don't think was ever really, I think he was a very good grappler, but he wasn't like that high level in jiu-jitsu, right? Like his black belt from Eddie Bravo was such bullshit, but because he was so wiry and stringy and explosive, like he was able to kind of make his wild, unorthodox, kind of open style work. Ricky doesn't have that. Now, if I knew more about Alberto Montes, maybe any of this context could actually, end up drumming up to anything. I don't know. So we're going to move on. Now, Dante Johnson versus Cody Brundage. Guys, Cody Brundage is a little bit underrated. Cody Brundage is a little bit underrated. I think, like, he sucks, but I think his pure wrestling ability is not that bad. And, so that it actually makes sense why he fucking like dropped through a bone nickel off of him. But anyway, okay, I actually do know about this fight. Cody Garbrandt versus Zhao Long. Obviously, Zhao Long is coming from Road to the UFC. I'll tell you what, man, Zhao Long is young. He's an up-and-comer. Now, here's the thing. Zhao, he kind of likes to bang. He's quick, he's fast, but he likes to get in the pocket, and he loves to throw. Now, here's the thing. I think Zhao kind of relies on speed a decent amount with his style. He loves fucking blitzing in really, really quickly. Cody Garbrandt's faster. Cody is legitimately a lot faster. He's quicker. He's faster. Believe it or not, I can't believe I'm saying this, Cody Garbrandt might be the more technical boxer out of the two of them. And I know that's crazy to say because Cody Garbrandt loves to just fucking throw away all caution to the wind and just spam right hands. Listen, with that being said, would I ever drop money on Cody Garbrandt? I fucking can't imagine. I can't imagine. Like I would have to like if I actually bet money on Cody Garbrandt, I'd probably just stare in the mirror at myself afterwards for like 2 hours, just contemplating where I've ended up in life. That I'm actually betting on Cody Garbrandt. So with that being said, I mean, I don't know. Cody probably would win, I would guess, but also it's a little tough. Zhao Long is pretty new to the UFC, so, Okay, I actually did do legitimately a lot of research for all of these main card ones. I've got a lot to say about all these, and this is where I think the odds makers are really fucking up. But let me catch up on some donos real quick. Let's see. What do we got here? I'm in Shamble LOL. Thank you for $2. When will you just sub Benny Netanyahu already? I'll tell you what, guys. As you guys know, I'm not that political at all, but I saw a clip earlier. Joe Rogan was reacting to this clip where somebody asked, somebody asked Donald Trump, something about the war and if he's something about the war with Iran and whether or not like he wants to like stop it or something, and then Trump, I swear to God, goes, I don't know, you're gonna have to ask Netanyahu about that. And I was like, holy fuck, that's scary, because he's basically like talking like the Netanyahu guy's like his boss or something. Terrifying to say the least. Maybe some history buffs in chat can tell me why that is. I don't know the significance of Israel in the United States other than that we're buddies with them. And I don't know why we're buddies with them. But so maybe someone can fill me in on why that is. Colt, can you charge $0.80? DA has a better hairline, he wins? DA? DA. Who's that? DA. I don't know who that is, Colt Killer. I don't know who that is. Who the fuck's DA? I have no idea. Tuxedo Mask, thank you for the $2, buddy. Good to see you, Shay. Team Shay-Tard for life. Cool. Man, hearing Shay-Tard sure brings me back. That sure brings me back. I have not called you guys Shay Cells in a long, long time. Tuxedo Mask, thank you for $2. It's because they're Netanyahu and Israel are... It's because Netanyahu and Israel are juice boxes. Juice boxes. Okay. I don't know what that means. They're juice. Was there an emblem? Oh, is that a grape emblem? Are grapes? Tuxedo Mask, I don't know, man. You have to spell this out for me a little simpler. I don't know all this inside lingo about juice boxes and shit. Grim Charlene with the 40 rupees. They did Chandler so bad, Connor to fight BMF winner. Oh, that could be interesting. Fuck Michael Chandler, bro. Fuck Michael Chandler. Let's not act like Michael Chandler didn't get a bunch of chances to fight for the belt over and over and over again. You know, he did. He got a title shot immediately after knocking out the number 6 ranked Dan Hooker. We let him fight for the title. Then he got to fight Justin Gaethje, and then he got to fight, Tony Ferguson after he lost. We kept giving him layups. Then we gave him Justin Gaethje and Dustin Poirier back to back. Like, bro, he got his chances. You know what I mean? It is a little unfortunate how it played out for him, but I don't feel that bad for him. Thank you for the $5. I can't say your name. There's an interview of Armin where he was asked who would win between him and Khabib, and he picked Khabib over himself. What are your thoughts on that? I mean, I think it's generally very normal for fighters. They don't like to talk shit about guys who are retired and guys that, you know what I mean? I think there's just a lot of respect there. You know what I mean? Like, that's just how it is. Like, if you asked Islam who would win between him and Khabib, he's gonna say Khabib, because Khabib's like, Khabib's kind of like his older brother. You know what I mean? Like, it's just how it is. There's a respect thing. I guarantee you this: if Khabib was still fighting, Armin would have a very different sentiment being in that division with him. You know what I mean? I mean, there's just no question about that. That's just how it goes, though. You know what I mean? It's always a little cringe to be like, fucking, oh, that guy that retired, like, what, at this point, like 7 years ago, right? Like, didn't Khabib retire, like, 2020? That guy who retired 6 years ago, yeah, I'd fuck him up. You know what I mean? Like, you're not going to say that. You know what I mean? Jews boxes. Oh, it's because they're Jews. Yeah, but again, I'm a Jew. I'm Jewish. You guys know that, right? And I just don't feel like I see people say that a lot, but I'm a Jew. I'm Jewish, and I don't feel like I've got anything going on extra in my life. I feel like a very normal guy, So I don't understand. I don't understand the socio-political, economic state of the world much, as you guys can tell. So I do appreciate the help here. Colt Killer, thank you for the charge. Sense. If Charles loses, does he retire? Don't even say that. Colt Killer, don't even fucking say that. God forbid. God forbid. Just don't even fucking say that. No, I don't think Charles does not strike me as the guy that would retire. He strikes me as the guy that... Charles, I feel like he wouldn't quite go on a Tony Ferguson-esque losing streak. He's not that crazy. But Charles is going to be that guy that always is like, oh, no, I can still do it. You know what I mean? No, I don't think he would. Let's see, what do we got here? Justin Powling with the $5. Would you watch the one fight between Yuki Yoza and Superlek on stream or members only for $20? It's only 13 minutes. Would I watch that for 20 minutes or for $20? Oh, I don't wanna. Yeah, I would. For $20, I would do that. Yeah, I would do that for $20. No, yeah, I would. I do like Superlek. I don't know who Yuki Yoza is. Yeah, I guess that's a fair deal. Tuxedo Mask, here's the $5. Not Sicilian Italian is in the mafia, but everyone in the mafia is Sicilian. Now you get it. Oh, okay, not every Sicilian Italian is in the mafia, but everyone in the mafia is Sicilian. Now you get it. Okay. I gotcha. Okay, that actually makes a lot of sense, Tuxedo Mask. So not every Jewish person is what you're saying, but every but I just don't understand, like, what is it that they do? What is it that they do? Is it just, you mean just like the country of Israel in general is what you're referring to here? Is the group, or like what? Grim Sharmley with 40 rupees. Have you trained BJJ/MMA high on weed? Does it help? Oh yeah, for sure I have. Does it help? Generally, I actually feel like it makes my cardio worse. It makes my cardio worse, I feel like. And you know what? I just think in general, like, here's the thing. I don't think it's the actual act of inhaling that makes my cardio worse. I just think it's like while you're high, you're just a lot more sensitive to everything. So like, I feel like if you're flow rolling, I feel like it's great. But I just feel like because you're more sensitive to everything, like if you're actually rolling hard and you're high, when you start getting a little fatigued, you're just going to feel it more intensely, because that's just what marijuana, I feel like, does for people generally. You know what I mean? It makes you just more sensitive to everything. Beetle, thank you for the 10 HK. The Spurs are winning this year. I'm calling it now. They actually might. Yeah, they might. I do think the Western Conference Finals is probably going to be for the real title this year. I don't know, man. The Pistons are good though, but yeah, Wemby's a fucking cheat code. Carlos Collins, dude, thank you for how come you never do night streams? Well, I do night streams. I do night streams whenever there's a pay-per-view. But it's just because according to my analytics, my peak audience times are about 10 p.m. or 10 a.m. To about 3 o'clock p.m. my time. That's Pacific time. That's just when my audience is on generally, is between around 10 to 3. That's my peak times. So I just stream during my peak times generally. Fuck. All right. Justin Wang Powell. All right. Fucking a deal's a deal, man. Thank you for the $20. All right. I guess we can watch it. Let me write it down. What was it? It was Superlek versus Yuzo Yakuza or whatever. All right, we can do it. We can watch. A deal is a deal. Think of the UK audiences, man. Yeah. The US is my number one demographic though, by a huge margin. Okay. All right. Enough tissy fitting around. Are you guys ready? Gregory Rodriguez versus Bruno Ferreira. Now, here's little step one of why I actually do kind of feel like the odds are a little backwards for this fight. So we go ahead and look over here at I was playing around with some potential bets earlier. So let's see. Yeah, they got Bruno Ferreira as a plus 140 underdog. Now listen, don't get me wrong, that's not being a massive underdog by any means, but it is significant. He's the underdog. And let's just go ahead and navigate our way over to Bruno Ferreira's record. As you guys remember, he's knocked out RoboCop before. Now, round 1 KO. Now, with that being said, here's the thing about, if anybody's ever watched any RoboCop fight, you're going to kind of see the same thing. He's got a lot of power. He, has, for MMA standards, he has some boxing skills, but defensively, he's not great. He's not phenomenal defensively. If you guys remember, there was a time back in the day where, and unfortunately this live stream has lost the time, I remember I bet, I believe it was like $2,500 on Gregory Rodriguez round 3 KO TKO versus old man Jared Cannonier. And I remember Rodriguez, he had him hurt many times throughout that fight, but he had him hurt round 3. And I remember I was freaking the fuck out, like praying to God he finished him. He didn't. And then RoboCop ends up getting knocked out round 4. Well, here's the thing. I think Bruno Ferreira, for one, have you guys seen his most recent photo shoot that they always do prior to UFC events? He's looking way more ripped. He's looking like he's in way better shape than he was before. Of course, right, he came in overweight against Marvin Vettori. Still fucked him up, but he's looking a lot more jacked. I genuinely think that Bruno is going to be a little bit quicker. I think he's going to be a little bit faster. In fact, I think Bruno Ferreira, I mean, I don't think either of them are like super high-level strikers, but I think that Bruno Ferreira, the way he enters into range is a little bit nicer than RoboCop. RoboCop likes to just fucking, like, you know, he likes to be a tank. He likes to just fucking walk you down, get in close, and start winging shots. I think Bruno, like, he sets it up better. He lunges into range. He uses feints a little bit more. And obviously, because of that, I think Gregory Rodriguez is all around more susceptible to getting knocked out because he doesn't hide his entries the same way. He just kind of likes to walk at you. Now, obviously, another big aspect of this fight is going to be the grappling. I think Gregory Rodriguez is a very high-level grappler. The thing is, though, man, so is Bruno Ferreira. Bruno Ferreira is a really good grappler as well. He comes from a judo background. Fucking, I believe he arm-triangled Armin Petrosian or whatever. So listen, this is a bit of a roundabout way of saying, yeah, I do agree. Gregory, though, doesn't grapple that much, but he is a good grappler. This is all a bit of a roundabout way of saying, though, that it's like, it's a bit of a scary one to hinge a whole ass parlay on, because I think, again, both of these guys have power. They like to bang. I'm going to lean Bruno Ferreira, though. I can see either of them knocking each other out, though. That's kind of the beauty of it. Like, Gregory Rodriguez is super dangerous. Obviously, you know, Gregory Rodriguez, he beat Roman Kopylov. Now, or it was an armbar. Thank you, Nagu-kun. Thank you. I just lost my train of thought, Nagu. I just fucking lost my train of thought. Fuck. What was I going to say? Oh, yeah, Gregory Rodriguez beat Roman Kopylov, and obviously people rode very high on Roman Kopylov, probably because Lucas Tracy said back in the day that Roman Kopylov is going to fucking beat Israel Adesanya, and, you know. But honestly, going into the fight with Gregory Rodriguez, I knew that RoboCop was a lock against him because, again, Kopylov, or, you know what, it wasn't... Well, actually, I'm sorry, scratch that. I knew that Paulo Costa was a lock against Kopylov. Not specifically Rodriguez, but Rodriguez, it's the same kind of thing. Like, to deal with these, like, really thick, big, heavy hitters who want to walk you down, you need to use a lot of footwork, you need to use a lot of movement, and you have to stay away from them. But that's not Kopylov's game. Kopylov's game is just to stand right in front of you and fucking, you know what I mean? That's just his game. He wants to just stand there and use his speed right in front of you, slightly out of range, and you're going to be a fucking piñata. So, you know, I don't know. I've seen some people say that perhaps this fight not going the distance is a good bet. I mean, maybe. We can play around with this fight not going the distance. We can play around with that and see what kind of odds we get. But I'll be honest, if you put a gun to my head, I'm going to say Bruno Ferreira. I think that RoboCop doesn't use as much head movement. I just don't think he's as safe on the feet, and I do think that Bruno is looking like he's in phenomenal shape going into this fight. But I don't know if I'd bet on this fight. I feel like either of them can knock each other out. So I don't know, man. I don't know. But anyway, Drew Dober, Michael Johnson. Guys, this is a fucking another one. Michael Johnson is a plus 112 underdog. Again, it's an even slighter underdog than Bruno Ferreira is. But, I mean, for those who remember, Michael Johnson just fucking knocked the fuck out of Zellhuber last fight. Now, you know, here's the thing. Drew Dober has horrible striking defense. Drew Dober, I've heard some people describe him as the Crimson Shin. I've heard people say that Drew Dober just sort of relies on his durability. And, oh, sorry. It was Bobby Green that KO'd Zellhuber. Michael Johnson beat him by decision. My bad. I mixed them up. But Michael Johnson did drop him at one point, didn't he? Or was I wrong about that? Didn't he drop him at one point? Maybe not. But yes, I know. I misspoke in the moment. But anyway, Drew Dober, I think the biggest problem with Drew Dober is that he has probably the least technical entries into the pocket that I've personally ever seen. Drew Dober, again, he's not a bad offensive striker at all. He's not. But again, like, you watch his fight against Gene Silva, and I'm sitting there being like, man, God, just give me fucking 1 week with Drew Dober. I don't know if I'd actually make a difference in his style, but there's one thing I would tell him to do. I'm like, Drew, you need to fucking feint. You need to feint, bro. Like, all he does is just fucking, like, walk at guys and just start throwing. And he's so susceptible to getting struck. Like fucking Gene Silva was just fucking, like, he was batting 1,000 on poor Drew Dober, landing, like, spinning elbows and the easiest jab right hands I've ever seen. If Drew could just fucking feint the entry, feint the right hand, and then he enters into range, I swear to God, he'd be so much better. And Michael Johnson, he's old, don't get me wrong. Drew Dober's also getting a little bit up there in age, but Michael Johnson is still fast. He's fast, he's quick, and he can still crack. And I think that Drew Dober, again, his striking defense is really bad. I think he's so susceptible to getting hit. You look at his last fight against Manuel Torres, just gets knocked out round one because he just fucking walks at him. Now, with all of this being said, there is a massive elephant in the room when it comes to this fight, and that is Michael Johnson's skin color. He is an African-American man. And if there's one thing we know about Drew Dober, in fact, I'll just show you. Let me see. Drew Dober, I mean, he has, like, legitimate, like, mythical, like fighter stats when it comes to fighting African Americans. I mean, again, Manuel Torres gets destroyed. Drew Dober gets destroyed. Renato Moicano gets destroyed. Frankly, I don't know who Ricky Glenn is. I don't know who that is. But Matt Frivola, white guy, gets destroyed. Bobby Green knocks his ass out. Terrence McKinney knocks his ass out. Damn, he's got a lot of fucking fights, doesn't he? So, I mean, listen, we just got to be honest here, man. I don't know. And of course, too, on the flip side of all of this, though, I'm not going to sit here and act like Michael Johnson has really high level striking defense himself either. You know what I mean? I'm not going to sit here and say that. So, and Drew Dober, again, his offensive striking's not bad. Again, based on them purely stylistically, it's a really close one because you got two guys who I don't think have great striking defense. I think both of them are good offensively with their striking, boxing in particular. But I feel like stylistically, Michael Johnson's probably has a higher chance of catching him because I think Michael Johnson's a lot quicker, a lot faster. And I think that Drew, again, his striking defense is terrible. I think Michael's a little bit sharper. I think he's quicker. I think he's faster. But again, he is a black man. He's a black man, and he's also old. He's like 39 years old. I don't know. Listen. There is money to be made on these two underdogs. There's money to be made, but it's so fucking risky. Again, like, both of these fights, like, gun to my head, I'm probably going Johnson, Bruno Ferreira, but, like, I really wouldn't want to hinge a lot of money on it. You know what I mean? Let me see. Got a couple of donos, I think. Sampo, thank you for the $2. So most of your audience is unemployed? I mean, maybe. Potentially. Yeah, potentially. but also too, some of them might live on the East Coast, so again, my audience starts getting off. No, yeah, they're all unemployed. That makes sense. That they're all unemployed, all of them. I don't think any of my audience has a job. And the shocking thing about that is my number one age demographic by far is 25 to 34-year-olds. It's close. 18 and 24 is in second place, but the majority of my audience is between the age of 25 and 34. So I got some grown-ass men who just are watching me at fucking 10 a.m., 11 a.m., noon. You know what I mean? My time. Colt Killer, thank you for the $2.80. And 2 wins, Anderson Silva or Mirko Cro Cop. Well, Mirko Cro Cop was a heavyweight. Anderson Silva was not a heavyweight. But, I mean, Anderson Silva is so much better than Mirko Cro Cop. He's so much sharper. Anderson Silva is so much sharper, so much more deadly, so much quicker, so much faster, way more accurate. The only thing Cro Cop has on him is size. I'm going Silva there. Thank you for $2. I can't say him. Zabit against the current top featherweights. Against Volkanovski, Zabit has a very competitive first 2 rounds and then completely gasses out, and then Volk smashes him. Mosvar Ivlev, I mean, again, are these 5-round fights? If it's a 5-round fight, again, I think Mosvar, again, has a lot of trouble with him rounds 1 and 2, then just destroys him rounds 3, 4, and 5. Diego Lopez might get head kicked. I'll tell you what, Lerone Murphy's getting destroyed. I think again, I've said this before, I'll say it again. Everybody says Zabit's like the greatest what-if fighter ever. I'm like, okay, maybe if his cardio got better, he would be. But, I mean, Zabit only had 2 rounds of fight in him before he was gassed. And I believe it was because he had a red blood cell deficiency, and that was a big reason why he retired or something like that. He had some issue with his red blood cells. His style was very explosive and fast, rounds 1 and 2. So I hate to say it. I just think pretty much any elite guy is just going to know they need to weather the storm and then beat the fuck out of him rounds 3, 4, and 5. Remember fucking him versus Calvin Kattar? Let me see. Tuxedo Mask, thank you for $2. I laid it all out if you can find my comment above. Yeah, I don't know, Tuxedo Mask. Maybe recopy and paste that for me. I Hear Voices donated 10. Thank you for the $5. MHA, please have your supporters group near you for that Charles fight. I'm scared for what you will do if he loses. I mean, yeah, guys, I hate to say it though. Yeah, they will be. Armin and Minimum Holloway should be here tonight, but fucking Jackson told me, he's been telling me for months that he's going to be there, can't wait to watch the fight with me. He tells me last night, he goes, oh, hey, by the way, I'm going to UFC 326 live. Like, the opportunity just fucking popped up, so I'm going there live. I was like, fuck you, bro. Jackson is such a vital component of our live streams, and he's fucking gone. He just won't be here tonight, which sucks. But, He said maybe he'll call in or something. And you know what? Funny enough, Kevin, you know what I told him? And I'm not going to pull up the text, but the first thing I told Jackson was Kevin Miller is going to be upset. That's the first thing I told him was Kevin Miller is going to be real upset. So, Samuel Esquire, the €5, not euros. Yeah, euros. Hey, Shay, I'm a casual. How is Pereira's defensive grappling compared to Gus, Santos, and Reyes? How good is John Jones' offensive grappling from 1 to 10? I'll tell you what, Samuel Esquando. I made a members-only video yesterday, the day before yesterday. The day before yesterday about that exact topic. We watched John Jones versus Stipe, and I will tell you what. Stipe had legit opportunities off of that first takedown round 1 to get his back to the fence and shoot an underhook and start building a base, and he fucking just had nothing. He had nothing. And I swear to God, I could mimic it almost perfectly to when Pereira fought Yuri Prochazka. It was like the exact same. I was like, oh my god, like the way that Alex, he was, so Yuri took him down, and then Alex was holding on to him, breaking down his posture, so Yuri couldn't throw any ground and pound. And then as soon as Yuri postured up to fully commit to a strike, the second he postured up, Ferreira immediately scooted his back to the fence, grabbed a whizzer, worked his way back up. And I'm telling you, I was watching Stipe in that sequence. I'm like, oh my god, Stipe can do it, but he's not, because he's old and he's full of mold. I think Pereira's defensive grappling is actually good. It's very good because like that's been the one thing that Ferreira has dedicated his entire like as soon as he got into the UFC, that was the first. That's all he's been working on. You know what I mean? Was just trying to get better in that area. And listen. A prime John Jones is scary with the elbows and the fucking, the takedown ability is obviously very good. But I think that for one, I think setting up his takedowns could be kind of hard with Alex just kind of trying to pressure but also stay away, landing the calf kicks, you know what I mean? I think that obviously I don't think John Jones's pure submission ability is super high level. It's good, but I don't think he's like a super polished jiu-jitsu guy by any means. And also, he looked like such dog shit against Stipe. I'm telling you, you guys gotta watch that members only video, man. My eyes were opened in a way that I had never seen before. You guys should watch it. John Jones' offensive grab from 1 to 10. I mean, I guess it's kind of hard to gauge because like the heavyweight division is awful. So like if I'm judging John Jones' offensive grappling compared to other heavyweights, I'd say a 10. But that's because all other heavyweights are awful. Even, you know what I mean? Like, you even go back to, like, some, like, the greatest heavyweight grapplers. It's like who? Fucking Daniel Cormier? The fucking wet blanket who could only grapple for, like, 5 minutes before he was dead tired? You know what I mean? I guess a 10, but, like, there's not much else to compare it to. But, hey, I'll tell you what, though. Pereira has lighter man skill, bro. Pereira comes from middleweight. He's got some lighter man skill to him. He for sure does. He's got some legit lighter man skill. And I've seen good, like, that's the thing, right? John Jones is not going to take your back with a body triangle. But go back to fucking Jan Blachowicz versus Alex Pereira. And by the way, Jan Blachowicz is like a real polished, like jiu-jitsu black belt. I don't even think John Jones, he's not. Not to say that he's a better grappler than John Jones all around, but we're just only looking at jiu-jitsu submission ability. Jan's got more skill there. He took down Pereira, and then Pereira immediately turtles, gets his back up towards the fence, and he forced Jan Blachowicz to make a choice. Jan Blachowicz was either going to let go of the body triangle, and then Pereira was gonna stand back up, or Jan Blachowicz had to try to hold on to the body triangle the whole time and go for the kill, which ended up really gassing out his legs because he's a 225-pound guy, 230-pound guy probably, holding on to Pereira's hips with the body triangle. It's tough. I actually think Pereira's defensive grappling is good, and I'm telling you, man, some of these strikes that Jean was getting hit by against fucking old man Stipe was like, I was like fucking in disbelief. So, as you can tell, I'm very passionate about a potential Pereira versus John Jones fight. Listen, I'm an American, and I want nothing more than to see John Jones, like, fucking unconscious in front of the White House, man. Colt Killer, the year 2008, who wins, Khabib or Ian Gary? Khabib or Ian Gary is a fight that I've never ever thought about in my fucking life. Yeah, I'm just trying to think, like, could Khabib pressure him to the fence successfully? Could Khabib's blitzing fucking overhands fucking get Ian Gary to back up to the fence without running into jabs and shit? That his frame is so big. Yeah, Honestly, yeah, probably Ian Gary. I think that's a tough fight. I think it's a tough fight for Khabib. His takedown, he's not going to be able to take him down out in the open at all. Ian Gary's clinch takedowns up against the fence, even against Shavkat, looked really good. Yeah, I'm going to say Ian Gary. All right. Rob Font, Raul Rosas Jr. Guys, you might not like this. We might have we might have 4 underdogs in a row getting the nod from me here. Listen, okay, listen, I'm not going to pick Rob Font to win, but with that being said, obviously, Rob Font's biggest weakness is getting taken down, obviously. That's Rob Font's biggest weakness. That's what everybody looks to do against Rob Font, is to try to take him down. Now, Raul Rosas Jr., very good takedowns, very good grappling. But let's see. Well, this was the first time I didn't take any notes for the fights that I was researching, so I need to pull up his record to remind me what fight I'm thinking of here. Did I miss a dono? Where? If I did miss another dono, I can't see it. I scrolled up as far as I could. It's gone now. I'm sorry. Samuel Esquando, I can tell I painted a good picture of my most recent members only video. You made a phenomenal choice, Samuel Esquando. Again, you now have access to essentially an infinite amount of content. My members only is, you literally cannot find better content on the internet, members wise, than my members only content. If you want to find a fucking if you want to join the members only Discord, let us know. Okay, yeah, that's right. It was the fight against Kyler Phillips was one that really surprised me, because listen, Kyler Phillips, like, I don't know a lot about Kyler Phillips. I've watched a few of his fights, but like, when I was watching him versus Rob Font, I was impressed with Kyler's grappling. Like, Kyler was getting to the single leg really well. He was controlling he was just controlling him very well. He was transitioning very well on the ground. And listen, Rob Font is super susceptible to single legs in particular. I swear to God. Like, Rob Font is practically incapable of down blocking. I'm like, Jesus Christ, Rob. For those who don't know, a down block is just, it's a good way to stop single legs. Ilya does it very well, where someone shoots a single on you and you drop your arm and your shoulder in between, and it just shuts down the single leg really well. Rob Font, I swear to God, was incapable of stopping it. But he was getting taken down by Kyler. Kyler looked really good controlling him, but Font was doing a good job eventually building his base, getting back up, and it just was not close on the feet, man. It was not close on the feet. Like, I kind of forgot how good of a striker Rob Font was, primarily because he got the shit beaten out of him by Chito Vera, and Chito Vera, I think, kind of sucks. And obviously it was that fight that kind of made me think that Rob Font was awful. But Rob Font was putting together the striking really well. He's going like 1, 2, boom, big body shot. I was like, damn, like Rob Font's putting the boxing very, very together very, very well. I was really impressed about that. And listen, when I go back and I do the film study on Raul Rosas Jr., obviously, I think the number one thing about Raul is he's never fought in anybody that high level. You know what I mean? Not yet, at least. Like, he's kind of slowly rising the rankings. Rob Font's like the first, like, you know, I'm not even going to say top ranked, but like, it's a jump up in competition for sure. I don't think Raul is a great striker. I don't. I really, really don't. I was watching his fight against Ori Lang, even Vince Morales. He's not a great striker. He's not bad, but I'm telling you, I'm telling you, it's fucking, just watch Raul strike and watch Rob Font strike. It's not close. It's not close. And again, I really liked the way that I was seeing Rob Font, you know what I mean, sort of counters grapple Kyler Phillips, get back up to his feet. With that being said, I think Raul probably has better submission ability than Kyler Phillips does. But at the same time, man, I mean, fucking Corey Sandhagen couldn't finish Rob Font on the ground despite just grapple fucking him the whole time. You know what I mean? It's a little tough. It's a little tough. I don't know, man. I don't know, but I do really feel like Rob Font at a plus 220 is a little bit ridiculous. That's a little bit ridiculous. I don't think that's fair. I think I am going to lean a little bit towards Raul Rosas, I think. But I feel like those odds are insane. Because if this fight does end up on the feet, I just think it's not close between them. I think Rob Font puts together combinations way better. I think Raul can be sometimes a little bit reckless. Though, Caden Stewart, yeah, I'm kind of feeling maybe a Raul 29-28. Just because I don't think Rob Font's takedown defense is great. And I think that it's going to be harder to try to scramble back up against a Raul because I think Raul's jiu-jitsu, his back take ability is very good. Though with that being said, people forget, man. But Raul Rosas, he got, I believe it was round 3, he got reversed by Vince Morales, and then Vince put him in that fucking anaconda choke. And listen, it wasn't very close. That the choke was not that close. But still, that happened. I just don't feel like these odds are fair. And I think a single bet on Rob Font is a positive EV bet because he's such a big underdog. I don't know though, man. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, man, if you want like a crazy lottery ticket that's going to make you a shit ton of money, I think you can go underdog on this one, and this one. I don't think I would do that, though. I don't think I would do that. Just if Rob Font just had slightly better takedown defense, I might lean more towards him. But that's how I feel, though, about this fight. I do really think that Raul gets pieced up on the feet against Rob Font. I really think he does. I don't think it's close on the feet. Oh, Sam, well, now it's telling me thank you for 4 months of being a member. I do appreciate it. I know, Shay, you are the GOAT. I was already a member. I deactivated during this time because there are no announcements and nothing interesting in the UFC. Yeah, I mean, I understand that, Samuel Esquando. I get it. Again, man, you deactivating is taking food out of my mouth, though. I hope you know that. I hope you know that. But it's all right. I'll forgive you. But yeah, it is rough, man, because we haven't gotten any fucking announcements. The UFC White House card, I swear to God, is it's neutering me. I feel like I'm drowning over here. I've been saying that recently because there's just no announcements. And by the time when we finally did get an announcement, it was fucking Yuri Prohashka versus fucking Carlos Ulberg. Which, sucks. But anyway, Kai Borrahlo versus Reinier de Ridder. Listen, as you guys know, I've been really upset at Reinier de Ridder recently. I've been upset at him for these past few months. And the reason I was upset with Reinier de Ridder was because if you guys remember, during the Bedtime Lucas and Guru stream, I fucking went out on a limb. I took the valuable airtime that I was gifted on there, and I spoke about Reinier de Ridder's length and his girth to everybody watching. There was like 30,000 concurrent viewers, and I sat there and I told the world that Reinier de Ridder's length and his girth was what we needed against a Khamzat Chimaev. Now, listen, in fairness, Dynamo_06. One thing you UFC fans are good are not one thing you guys do is you guys are sure. I mean, listen, I don't even know what to call this, but there was a fair amount of people being like, man, dude, that Reinier de Ridder pick did not age well there. And I was like, listen, in fairness, I did not pick him at all. I literally didn't even get a single word in about Reinier versus Brendan Allen. I never said anything about Reinier versus Brendan Allen. I just said that, the last time that fucking Khamzat Chimaev struggled at all, it was against somebody who didn't try to wrestle with him and just tried to fight off of his back. And that's why I was like, okay, so that's what I want to see. I don't want to see somebody try to wrestle with Khamzat. We know how that's going to go. I want to see Khamzat against somebody who's going to try to have the same game plan as Gilbert. And I don't know if he's going to win, but that's basically what I said. And of course, as MMA fans typically go, somehow that equaled me promising the world that Reinier was going to crush Brendan Allen. But listen, I digress. Because I went back and I rewatched his fight against Brendan Allen. He did dominate Brendan Allen round 1. If malicious intelligence when someone says you picked a fighter to win even though you never picked anyone, that happens and that even happens with Charles Oliveira every single fucking, like, dude, I made a whole, 20-minute video talking about how petrified I am for Charles Oliveira, and the amount of people who, were coming to me being like, hey, Guru also picked Charles to win, Shay. I was like, what the fuck am I, listen, I don't pick anybody to win. I don't pick anybody to win practically ever because, again, I've been around this game too long, man. I've gotten my heart broken by guys not fighting the way they're supposed to too long. You know what I mean? I don't subscribe to that. You know what I mean? But anyway, dude, he fucking got to the clinch against Brendan Allen. He hit him with a fucking Haraya Goshi, threw him, mounted Brendan Allen, took his back, dominated him the entirety of round 1, and then he fucking just, his cardio completely fell off of a cliff. At the very start of round 2, Reinier de Ridder was fucking gassed. He was fucking dead tired. And again, I was upset at him because he made me look like a fool. But everybody loves to tell me that it's because Reinier was sick. Reinier de Ridder was sick. He had a bad weight cut, yada, yada, yada. And I was like, okay, we'll see about that. So then I went and I rewatched all 5 rounds of Reinier de Ridder versus Robert Whittaker. Man, Reinier put on a fucking crazy pace against Robert Whittaker, bro. I am now more inclined to believe him. I guess he probably was just really sick against Brendan Allen. That's the only thing. You know what I mean? So listen, point is, I do think that Brendan Allen fight was potentially a fluke. And I think it was a fluke because obviously Reinier dominated him round 1 and then gassed out. And then prior to that fought one of the best middleweights of all time and put on a crazy pace. But that did not stop the odds makers from making Reinier practically a plus 200 underdog. I don't think that's fair, you guys. Now listen, there are some things that really scare me about Reinier de Ridder. I'll tell you what. Everybody clip this. Chat, clip this and come back to it after the fight. Reinier de Ridder is going to get tagged with so many straight shots in this fight. If there's one thing Reinier de Ridder struggles with, he's dog shit at defending straight punches. He's so bad at it. He's just there to get popped over and over and over again. And listen, Caio Borrahlo, both of them fight from southpaw. Primarily, you know what, actually, Caio Borrahlo does switch stances sometimes, but he likes southpaw more often than not. Reinier is also a southpaw, which means that Kai's jab is going to be there, and Kai does love his jab. Now, the biggest roadblock, though, for Kai landing his jab is the fact that Reinier de Ridder also has a really good jab, and Reinier is way taller and way longer. However, Reinier de Ridder doesn't do a great job managing and maintaining space. He does not. He doesn't do a great job maintaining space. He has a good jab. He pops the jab out there. He can crack you with it. He even has a super awkward, weird, lunging right hand that he throws with his wrist. But when you try to close the distance with him, he's not good at, he doesn't use the jab to keep you away from him at all. Watch Robert Whittaker versus Dricus du Plessis. Dricus du Plessis fucking caught Whittaker blitzing in with the jab and hurt him. And that is why he ended up beating Robert Whittaker. Whereas Reinier de Ridder, again, he landed the jab, but he never actually used it as Whittaker was blitzing in. It never happened. No, Travis Bickle, I saw that, but thank you for reminding me. Travis Bickle, thank you for the €1, bro. I love you, Travis Bickle. I love you, brother. I really appreciate it. That $1 goes a long way. That goes a long way. Now, here's the thing, though. Reinier de Ridder is very durable. He's a big guy. He's thick. His length and his girth is crazy. He's a really big guy. Fucking 6'4", huge, very durable. Whittaker landed a lot on him, and Reinier pretty much ate all of it. The one time he got dropped was because, again, Reinier, being very reckless, as one could put it, literally ran into a fully wound up overhand from Whittaker that clipped him fucking right on the chin. Just bop, and then dropped him. He still ended up surviving. But Okay. With all that being said, I am probably going to favor Kai Borrahlo a little bit on the feet for sure. I think Rainer's length is going to be a problem. I think, I even think like Kai Borrahlo doesn't use that much movement himself. He can be a little stationary at times, a little bit. Nothing I'd complain about, but I do think Reinier probably could land on the jab quite a bit. But on the flip side of that, Reinier has really bad footwork, at least from a technical standpoint. He's kind of slow. He's a little awkward. I think Kai is going to land the jab on him a lot. Now, how is Kai Borrahlo going to deal, though, with Reinier de Ridder blitzing at him and trying to get into the clinch and land knees? I don't really know, because I can't really name a time somebody's had that approach against Kai Borrahlo, bro. Like Reinier, again, when you're dealing with these like really awkward guys with like these like very unique styles, I just like I don't know how Kai Borrahlo is gonna look when Reinier just is fucking rushing at him, going for that like double arm grab and like ripping knees to the body. I don't know. In terms of grappling, I do think Rainier's the better grappler. I think he's the better grappler, but I think Kai Borrahlo is a very good grappler himself, right? Like, obviously, Reinier dominated Brendan Allen round 1 in the grappling, but Kai Borrahlo fucking beat the shit out of Brendan Allen when they had a grappling match over at Karate Combat. Can Reinier de Ridder get in on takedowns and take Kai Borrahlo down? I'm not 100% sure about that. I mean, potentially. Again, Reinier at one point hurt Robert Whittaker really bad with a knee to the body, really badly. That is ended up kind of what ended up swaying the fight in his direction. Again, how does Kai deal with those knees to the body? I don't know. But one thing I do know, Kai Borrahlo is really nice. He does have very good elbows in the clinch. I don't know, man. I don't know if I can bet on this one. I don't know if I can really bet on this one. I don't know. I think it's a little unfair, though, that he's a plus 200 underdog. I don't think that's fair. And also, Reinier de Ridder's looking fucking jacked. He's looking a lot leaner. He's looking like he's in much better shape coming into this fight. I don't know, man. I think that there's value here with this money line, but I just don't know if I can bet on him. Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. But I do think Kai, again, is going to land the jab on Reinier a lot. I think he's going to land the jab on him a lot. I just don't know how Kai's going to deal with those knees to the body. That's just Reinier just has such a unique style. It's hard to gauge how he's going to deal with it. That's what I think. Well, Gani, if you rewound to the very start of me talking about this matchup, I actually went in depth about that exact topic. You know what I mean? I think almost all of these are kind of too risky to bet on, believe it or not. This might just end up being a completely unbettable card, but we'll see. But look, guys, Max Holloway, Charles Oliveira. Oliveira can win this fight. I know he can win this fight. I know he can. But I just don't know if he's going to fight the right way, you guys. I don't know if he's going to fight the right way. It is shocking to learn about the fact that there have only ever been 2 submission attempts against Max Holloway his entire fucking career, and both of them were Dustin Poirier. It just goes to show you how Max has never fought this kind of stylistical fight before. He just never has. You know what I mean? I don't think we've ever seen a really high-level grappler fight Max Holloway. You know, again, we know Max has phenomenal get-ups off the bottom, but they're all up against the fence. Up against the fence, Max has phenomenal get-ups, but listen, we've seen Charles Oliveira fight really high-level grapplers. We've seen Charles Oliveira go through fucking murderer's row of wrestler grapplers, and Charles does obviously a phenomenal job. Ortega, Ortega is probably the one example, but again, Ortega was not. By the time when he fought Max, he wasn't much of a wrestler. Didn't even fucking shoot on Max, pretty much. Didn't even fucking shoot on Max practically. You know what I mean? That was a boxing fight through and through the whole goddamn time. Whereas Charles, he's tearing Kevin Lee's knees apart with heel hooks and then fucking guillotining him. You know what I mean? Charles Oliveira is putting Arman Tsarukyan in fight-ending submission attempts every single round. Even Islam Makhachev, Charles was dominating the fight in the grappling when they were out in space. Was fucking throwing up triangles, making Islam get up and run away when he was going for leg locks. And Islam Makhachev, how much of a high level submission artist even he is. You know what I mean? To fucking do what he did to just fucking bitch Gamrot on the ground out in the open, to then take Gamrot down and then take his back and then strangle him, and you know what I mean? Like it's insane. I mean, it's you know what I mean? It's just fucking, it's a different level. It's a different level. But can he get Max Holloway there? That's the question. Can he? I don't know. He needs to get his back up against the fence. He needs to try to limit Max's ability. He needs to try to take away Max's distance management. That is where Max Holloway is at his absolute best. When he's the one out in space, landing volume on you and then sliding away. Volume on you, slide away. That's what Max does. But if Charles can just fucking high guard, walk him down to the fence, then all of a sudden, Max can't move in and out. I even think Charles's strikes will open up there. Obviously the body locks, the doubles from there will be huge. I think Charles is going to be bigger and stronger. I don't know. I don't know, you guys. But if Charles tries to strike out in range, the fight's over. I think it's over. I think it's Armageddon. I think the fight's over if Charles tries to strike with him out at range. By the way, I saw some people say Charles didn't dominate Islam in the grappling. You just don't know. You don't know what you're talking about, and you probably haven't rewatched that fight in a long time. Like, just read the fucking judging criteria about what they define as effective grappling and look at them grappling out in the open. Like, what the fuck did Islam do? Nothing. John 48888. If they had 5 rounds of grappling out in space, it would have been 50-45. Like legitimately, it would have been 50-45. Because literally, it was Islam defending the whole time and not doing anything. And then fucking, as soon as Charles throws up a leg lock, Islam runs away. You know what I mean? Like, if that was just the fight, was them out at space, Charles from the bottom in close guard, it would have been 50-45. Like, that's not even controversial. Listen, guys, I don't know, but I'll fucking tell you what. It's a little bit of a lottery ticket, but I legitimately am going with Bruno Ferreira. I'm going with Michael Johnson, but this one's real scary. I think you could make an argument for Rob Font, even though I wouldn't favor him to win, but I think you can make a very good argument. I think, again, you could make an argument for Reinier de Ritter here as well. And even Charles. I mean, bro, this entire main card, I could make a good argument for every single underdog on here. And holy shit, look at this fucking lottery ticket right here. $25 will win you $3,200. But I genuinely kind of, I feel like this is an unbettable card. Again, I actually like Bruno Ferreira here, but that's a real scary one. I do not feel confident in betting on him. I really don't feel confident betting on Mike. If I had to try to be as safe as I could, or you know what, let me see. Somebody said betting that this fight wouldn't make it to decision. That's a good one, perhaps. Let me see. Betting on the fight ending by KO or TKO is a good one. Under 2.5 rounds, maybe? Under 2.5 rounds, you might be able to bet. Is there just a... Here we go. But will the fight go the distance? Minus 425. That's awful odds, though. That's terrible odds. Those are terrible odds. I think, but like, I think both of them are very good grapplers, though. I think both Bruno Ferreira and RoboCop are good grapplers. The only way I think either of them could get a submission is if somebody gets rocked, but that's very possible in this matchup. See what I mean? This is a tough one to bet on. This is a tough one to bet on. I guess maybe KO, TKO, DQ may be the safest thing you could go for here. Or you know what? Probably not even. How about just under 2.5 rounds at minus 275? Again, the odds aren't phenomenal there, but, you know, we can go with that, I guess. Rob Font versus Raul Rosas Jr. I can't fucking bet on Raul Rosas at a minus 270. It's just, I can't do that. Okay. Maybe Kai Borrahlo Reinier to go over 2.5 rounds at minus 175. I don't mind that. What is there to bet on with Max Charles? Is there any good, like, double bets we might be able to go for here? Let me see. Double chance, okay. Max by TKO, KO, or Charles by submission. That might not be a bad one. Saint RG, I've got some very good reasons to say that Rob Font could beat Raul Rosas Jr. But, again, I just don't know if I can put money on it. To me, it's just such an unbettable card, but I don't know. Maybe Max by TKO, DK. Max either by TKO, KO, or Charles by submission, maybe. I mean, this might be the safest parlay I think I might be able to devise here at plus 404 odds. It's not bad. You turn $25 into $100. Maybe. But then, God, what if Max wins a decision, bro? What if Max ends up winning a decision? How much is, like, over a round? We can go over 1.5 rounds for minus 325, maybe. So the only bright side, if Charles does lose to Max, I do feel like a Max versus Armin fight would be really sick. People would be really interested in that fight. Do under 4.5 rounds. Oh. I guess under 4.5 is solid. Plus 219. What's that? You'll double your money. You'll double your money. Aaron, what the fuck do you mean help pay for my sins? What have I sinned? What have I sinned for? Okay, first of all, I am so nice to animals. I'm a cat dad. I love my pets so much. Like, what? First of all, I don't have any sins. Name one sin of mine, Aaron. You know what you've done. I don't know what I've done. I guarantee you, Shaq cannot name one sin that I've done in my life. No shot. All right, let's see. Okay, let's try to make some money tonight. Let's try to make some money, though. Let's try to make some money in a realistic way. You abandoned your dog. No, I did not abandon my dog. His mom took him. His mom took him. Which I actually let happen because his mom got him when he was a puppy. I met him when he was 3. So I can't take Ollie. You beat up an Asian kid because you're racist. That Asian kid signed up to be there at that MMA fight, by the way. He signed up for that. Okay. Realistically, Bruno Ferreira to win. I'm okay with that. It's a very scary one, but I'm okay with that. Do you know what? Someone's getting knocked out here. I feel it. Someone's getting knocked out here. We're going that. Someone's getting knocked out here, man. Someone is. I don't know who is, but someone is. We can do that. I'm not betting on Font versus Raul. I can't do it. I'm going to go over 2.5 rounds, though. I think that's fair. For if it's a 5-rounder, I'd be much more scared about this fight going late, but I'm fine over 2.5 rounds there. Max Charles. What website is this? This is DraftKings Sportsbook. Please, by the way, use my promo code MMAShay, one word. Legitimately, if you're a brand new customer and you spend $5 on any wager, if your bet hits, they will give you $200 in bonus bets. Like legitimately, let's give you $200 to play around with. The only caveat is it has to be something at least minus 500. At least minus 500. That's the thing. You can't bet on some like minus 1,200 thing. You know what I mean? Running gambling, super sinful. Says who? Gambling is a great pastime. Obviously, some people could have a bad problem with gambling, obviously, but like, you know what I mean? How's that my fault? I don't know, man. I don't know if I can bet on Max versus Charles. It's too scary. Or I guess under 4.5 rounds, maybe. Okay. I mean, listen, I don't think I'm actually going to end up doing this bet. I don't think I'm actually going to do this. But if I had to give like some kind of realistic parlay that I think is actually like very possible and you could actually make some money on it, I'd probably say this. This is probably what I would advise someone to do. But yeah, that's what I got for you guys. You're welcome. What do you guys think? You like it? What does double chance mean? It just means that you could bet on 2 outcomes. Like when I was looking at the Charles Oliveira Max Holloway double bet, you could bet on either Max to win by KO, TKO, or Charles win by decision. Like you're betting on both of those outcomes being possible, you know? So if either of those happen, you still win. Or whatever. I don't know about the fucking terminology cadence. You know what I mean? I'm describing what it is. Oh, I clicked Max by KO, TKO. Oh, okay. Speaking of, I got people asking me about my bets right now. Hold on, I'm just going to send this to them. Oh, man. So, yeah. I don't know. That's it, pretty much. That's it, pretty much, I guess. I guess I got nothing else to say. That's my thoughts on the card today, guys. Did you like it? Thanks, Diego Lopez Mullet. Sorry, I'm getting asked right now from people being like, what do you think about this bet and this bet, this bet? I'm like, just tune into the stream right now. But I'm fucking responding to them. Yeah, guys, I'm nervous for tonight, man. I'm nervous. But you know what? Again, the truth is, though, man, like, I've already watched Charles get flatlined. You know what I mean? Like, is that going to suck? I mean, yeah, it would be awful. It would be terrible. But, like, I've been through it once. You know what I mean? I've been through it. I got through it. I survived. So, if it happens again, I know I can get through it. I know I know I'll be okay at least. You know? What if Charles gets submitted, Donlo? Don't even fucking say that. Don't even say that. Don't even say that. Don't say that. Don't say that. Don't talk like that. God forbid. God forbid. God forbid. God forbid. God forbid. God forbid. How about the notion of Charles getting subbed that doesn't even enter any of our consciousnesses? How about that? How about that? Let's go with that, you guys. Let's go with that. That doesn't even enter my consciousness. That doesn't exist. That can't exist. How about that? Stipe Miocic _ speech _ I can't see the rest of your username. Thank you for the $2. Oliveira round 2 sub, by the way. Don't worry. If he follows If he follows the game plan, I really think that is so possible. I think that is so possible. You know what? Actually, Kai. Font versus Rosas to go to decisions actually could be a good bet. That could be a good bet. What are the odds on that? I do not mind that at all. Decision minus 200. That ain't bad, man. That ain't bad at all. Huh? Maybe you know what? I'll do that. That's a good one. What does that change us to? $2 wins you $25. I mean, hey man, if that ain't fucking money, I don't know what it is. $25 wins you $316. Bro, I like that actually. Didn't even think about it. Yeah, Font Rosas to go to decision minus 200. I do not mind that at all. That's real solid, I think. I followed your Instagram, Stipe speech therapist. Let me see. Did ya? You must have did it yesterday because I don't see you on here right now, but it's all right. Oh, we got some donos. Man, and to think I was about to end the stream. Aaron, thank you for the $5. Charles by sub is actually the best case scenario. Neither of them get knocked out or hurt too bad, and Charles has a vintage win. Aaron, listen, I hate to rain on your parade here, but yeah, like I've been kind of making fun of people who are all like, oh, I don't want to see Max or Charles get knocked out. Ooh. I want Max Holloway to end up like fucking, what's that guy's name? Who's the boxer that got hit in the head a bunch of times and ended up getting like severe brain trauma and became a vegetable? What's that guy's name? Something Pritchard? I want that to happen to Max Holloway. And I don't feel bad for saying that. I admit that it's terrible to say, but I don't feel bad about it. I'd love to see him get his skull caved in like MVP did to that one guy. You know what I mean? That's just me though. That's just me. Carlos Enthusiast, thank you for the $5. Shay, if Charles gets subbed, are you gonna evil laugh like when Walter White found out Skyler gave his money to Ted? You know what? Yeah, maybe. That does feel like the exact fucking reaction I'd probably have. Oh, MMA_Jack. I swear to God, this is not your first time becoming a member, but thank you for doing it. I do appreciate it, MMA Jack. If you want to join the members only Discord, there's any chance you're not already in there, please do that. Please do that. All right, fine. I guess it was a little mean to say that about Max Holloway. I'm sorry. I guess that was a little bit mean. I don't actually want that to happen. I'm just saying, point is, I'm on a different wavelength than everybody else is about this fight, I guess. That's what I meant to say. I don't want that to happen to Max. I take it back. MMA Shea Clips Official. What the fuck is this? All right, I like your profile photo, man. I wish you luck at making clips of me. I'll do my best to become a bigger channel. That way, you people are more interested in watching that. It's my channel, which is your channel. All right, fair enough. You know, Aaron, though, I'm funny enough, I've had a couple. What's the fifth pick? Well, I don't know if this is really I don't know if I don't know if I would actually go for all of these, but I think this is pretty safe with all things considered. LEC has made a shorts clip channel of me. I know that. Shaysel Sonnen has also been around for a while. Oh, man. So are all you guys going to be there tonight? It's going to be a big day for us, guys. It's going to be a big day for us tonight. I hope to see you all there. We're going to be streaming with the boys. Can someone thank you? MMA Jack has MMA Jack, dude. Let me just say something, MMA Jack. You are so, like, dude, so fucking based, because what everybody does, and it's so annoying, is they'll donate $2 and go, can I please get added to the Discord? And it's like, okay, well, we need to fucking know what your goddamn username is, and now I have to ask you what your username is, and now my moderators have to seep through all the comments to find your username, but thank you for just throwing it out there. I appreciate it. Donlo will get you in there. But yeah, I mean, guys, this might, again, I don't want to be dramatic, but if Charles gets legitimately submitted tonight, that actually might be it. That might be it. I'm not equipped to deal with that. That might be it. I might fucking pick a new career path. I might let fucking Nate Roscoe take over the channel again. Like, I'm not joking. So I hope to see you guys all there tonight for the stream. Fuck. That might be it, man. That might be it. Oh, hey, Tor Felipe. Thank you for joining the fan club. I appreciate it. I mean, dude, you just made a great decision. Check out my most recent members only video. It was really funny. We watched Stipe versus John Jones. It was great. You'll love it. Listen, I really appreciate all you guys coming. I love all you guys. Thank you so much. I guess I'll see you guys all tonight, all right? I'll see you all tonight, all right? I love you all. Thank you for being here. Goodbye, everybody.